Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good, very good. And you?
Good, very good. How do I look? Is it clear?
It's a bit pixeled.
Yeah. Hopefully
Do I
it will
look the
clear.
same?
You're clear on my end. I think everything's
Okay.
okay. Hopefully it'll get through. I know we're talking from a far distance. How's your
I
day
know.
going?
Well, it's one of more days in quarantine. Like
Yes.
alone in my apartment.
Yeah. What are you doing to pass the time?
Well, at first I was making myself very busy. I was working on new project and like doing hair and then content for my Instagram and like almost in a panic mode a bit, meaning like I need to do things. It needs to happen because we don't know when we're gonna work again and what's the future, right? So I was a bit in this state of mind, and now I'm a bit more. I'm ready to go out.
Yeah.
I'm ready to leave my apartment and to
Sure.
go back to my life. This is how I feel now. So I'm working less, and I'm enjoying a bit more of the situation. I feel like,
Sure. So what are your plans for your social media? Do you have something in mind?
Well, I keep on doing my regular posts for the week, the pictures and everything. But now I'm gonna work more on the video side. So I'm doing more of the tutorial for my channel and everything, but also for my Instagram, like some timeline tutorial, and working more on this content and create more and more what I am, what I want to be, what I want to show. So yeah.
Yeah, your work it's so intriguing to me. I remember when I first saw it, and I loved that it was just on a block. It doesn't need a model for it to be on, and actually, it being on a block adds some kind of ethereal aspect to it that I really love. These photographs, they're really cool. So I know you've probably told your story many times, but tell us how you got into hair at the very beginning.
Well, I always did hair in my life somehow. I was, playing mannequin head and everything when I was 7, 8, 9 years old. Like I had it very, very soon because I was always touching hair and everything. So I guess my parents give me some kind of, gift like this, or rotated already. And so, well, I was doing my thing like this until 15, and then at 15 I started my apprentice, like a regular hairstylist. And then at 15 I also joined the French team of the hair competition. So this is where everything kind of started. So I was having like a trainer in south of France, one in Miami. So I was traveling this like at 15, 16. I was already doing all of these things and doing like the hair competition. That was my main thing when I started.
Did you grow up in the south of France? Is that where you were?
No. I was in the east of France.
Okay.
But in the French team we have people from all France, all around. So this is how I started, and then I grew up a lot in the competition spectrum. I won a couple of competition and everything, and then that brought me to Paris when I moved to another salon that was doing shootings, and I was already doing a bit of fashion. So then I started to work a bit in fashion, doing the salon, the competition, and I started to work on shows. And then the shows with, I have my first agency, and then from my first agent, they give me all these shows and everything, put me on these shows, and I started the education also with this talent I was working with in Paris. So this is how it kind of all started when I arrived in Paris.
So when you were a child and you were playing with hair, did you know that was a career that you could follow, or were you just fascinated by hair as a textile almost?
I don't know. That was just the thing. That was just the thing. But I didn't think about doing a career about it because I was very, as a gay boy, you live through things in the childhood, right? So I was getting bullied and everything. So I wasn't putting myself up there because I didn't want it to be even more a thing,
Right.
My difference. So
Sure.
I wasn't thinking about it at all. It's just at the very end of, I don't know, high school, I felt. At the very end of my school, I started to get there, like to get a bit of more the strength to. It was logic. I was gonna do it, right? But that wasn't something I wasn't thinking about it. I couldn't back in the day. No.
Were your parents artists?
Well, yeah. Yeah, but I lost my father when I was 4 years old, so I never learned anything from his artistic side. My mom, she's a musician, but she's a teacher. She's doing musician, but she's not an artist, but she's very open-minded. She's like a very open-minded, like bohemian woman. So she's, she allowed me to open my spectrum in the art form. She never stopped me. Stopped me.
I read that she bought you your first doll.
She did. She actually did. Yeah, that's what I meant. She bought my first doll, and that's how I started. Nice. on the doll.
That's amazing. So, it seems like you pretty quickly got into that competition world.
Yeah.
Was it attractive to you, or was it just kind of the only avenue that you saw you could do your thing in?
Actually, before I started my apprentice, I already saw all these things, and I was like, this is so beautiful, and I was very attracted by it. And back then, when in countryside, I was dreaming about fashion and everything already, but nothing was happening over there, and I didn't know anything about it. Only what I was seeing on the magazine and on the fashion runways. That's it. So I think the only way to do creative stuff was the competition back then.
Sure, absolutely. Cool. So, so you're going through this. You're winning. You're obviously a talented man, and you're getting recognized for this. You working in the salon, did that come during the competitions, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that for you? Were you ever invested in the salon, or was it just a stepping stone for you?
I think that was just the start. I mean, I was ready to leave the salon. Actually, but the funny story is the first day I did my apprentice, the first day I stepped in, I was like, I will never do that. I hate it.
Yeah. Meaning the hair that you saw, or work behind the chair? What do you mean?
Meaning, I will always picture myself seeing one of my colleagues back then doing a perm, and I was like, and I was supposed to watch it, and I was like, but this is not at all what I like. This is not at all what I want to do.
Sure.
I felt already like, I was creating design, I was creating updos. I was fascinated by, Alexander Paris and everything at 16. And I was like, I wanted to do these kind of things. And I was fascinated by the hair competition. And I was like, doing this perm thing is not what I want. Like, I don't want to, I don't know, that was something weird. Like this, I was like, that's not what I want.
Sure.
But then I learned to like it, and I loved I loved doing the perms and all the things, and then working with the clientele, and then making people feel good, and then you learn about things after life. But I'm not good in the salon with the boss rules. I feel like
right
with these kind of rules.
So do you take clients still to this day? Or no?
No, I haven't cut hair since years.
Wow.
I'm the only hairstylist that doesn't cut hair.
That's okay. So that's I mean, when you find your lane, when you find what you do and what you love, It's okay to follow that path, and obviously you've taken it to a beautiful place.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you have worked with the legends, some of the legends in our industry. I know you have Sam McKnight and Luigi Murenu, and Guido most recently. The jump from the salon to that world isn't always a very clear path. So how did you go from one world to the other?
Well, it was quite a journey. I lost everything.
Yeah? How do you mean?
I stopped the salon. So then I wasn't making money enough in the fashion world.
Right.
So then I had to leave Paris. I went back to my mom's in countryside for 2.5 years. And I was doing back and forth Paris countryside every day. And I was living in hotels, and I was living at friends, and I was like, doing everything I could to make it. But it was hard. Mm-hmm. It's still hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Hard.
I mean, it was very hard back then. I mean, but I was young. I was very young, so I had the strength, to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I made it. And then I went back to Paris with the help of some friends, and that was believing in me. That always been my luck. Like always my talent always brought me the people that loved me somehow. Right. Meaning people really believe in me. So then they will help me like a lot. So sure. Some of my friends helped me out to come back to Paris, and then to be able to to make it more into the fashion world, and then I was really able to come back to Paris when I started working with Guido.
Sure.
This is how it happened, actually.
Was Guido, who was the first person you started assisting for?
Luigi. I did my first show was a Rico and show. That was, I took the train in the morning, and I went straight to the Rico and show. That was insane. Like, it was 10 years.
Tell us about it.
That was insane. That was the Rico and show. So then Rico went very intense.
Before you go on, how did you meet Luigi?
My first agent put me on one of his shows.
Okay.
That's it. And so this show was intense. So I was stressed. I was so scared. I didn't know anything about. That was a dream come true, but I didn't know anything about it. How backstage work and everything. Mm-hmm. And then I took the train very early in the morning, and I arrived there. It was in a big venue, and then the Rico went is very intense. The music is like hardcore techno, very loud. Mm-hmm. I will never forget. My glass of water was shaking on the table during a rehearsal. That was very intense.
Sure.
And I arrived in the team. Luigi back then had a strong Italian team. They were all Italian. I didn't speak English very well. Mm-hmm. We were all Italian. Most of them were my team. They've been through from Italy to do these shows. And I didn't understand anything. I was like, what's going on in here? Like, what is it?
Sure.
Like, I was like, yeah, that was very weird. Very weird. Very weird, because I didn't know what to do. I wanted to help. Also, I thought I was it. So I thought I was like a hairstylist, like very, well trained and everything 10 years ago. And I was like, I should do hair. I don't understand. Like, I didn't know anything about how it works, actually.
Sure.
So yeah, my first experience was quite hard, actually, quite hard. And then working with him for 3 years, that was quite hard, actually.
Yeah. How so? Was he difficult for you to get along with, or?
No, actually, he actually was very nice with me all the time. Mm-hmm. Very nice, and speaking a bit French with me to help me out, and it was very nice. But the team around was very tough, very, very tough. Like, I wasn't strong and confident enough, I feel like. So they were just pushing you away and take the brush from your hands to finish the model. That's just how it goes in backstage. Very harsh. Yeah. Like this. Even producers from back then were like, oh, he's struggling. I hear it was like, she was behind. She was like, oh, he's struggling a bit. And I will never forget, Luigi says, yeah, but he's very talented. So then she couldn't say anything else, right?
Right.
That was just the vibe of all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's intense. How, just to back you up a little bit, tell me how you went about getting your first agent.
I did the regular thing. I built up a book with a couple of pictures, and then I contact all the agents in Paris. Yeah, that's it. And then that's the only one that took me.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way. So you were doing test shooting. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so you go through you said 3 years with Luigi, and then what happened? So then I did 3 years with Luigi, but then in the same time I was doing a bit at the very end of Luigi. I did a bit of a James Percy, and then Sam, and then Sam Percy, and then Guido a bit, and yeah, that was I was on 5 of them. I was like all of the extra assistants do actually. Right. You do as many shows as you can, so you get booked, 2 or 3 shows a day with many teams and everything. So at the end of Luigi, that was that, because I got my first agent in Milan back in the day. Like that was at the very end of Luigi, I got my first agent in Milan. So then they booked me on many shows in Milan with all of the team. And then at one point I had to choose. Sure. I had to choose, and then Guido was like, I wasn't so familiar with his work somehow. I was very young. I wasn't having like the full idea of what it was, because I don't know, I was still learning what was fashion, right? And then I had to choose, and I feel like I've been embraced straight away with Guido. Wow. I've been straight away. So then when I had to choose, there was kind of no choice actually. I was like, that's it. Let's just, I'm going with him now. I like the system of the backstage. And I felt like, I felt some trust from him at the beginning. So then that was it. So then I moved on with him, and I stopped all of the others. So in that time where you were having to make that choice, what would you say was different between working with Sam, McKnight, as opposed to working with Guido in their systems? What were you drawn to? Take your time too. I mean, you're going for it. Well, I don't have anything bad to say about anyone anyway. Of course, no, nothing bad. It's not even that. It's not even that. I feel like my decision was taken about the job, meaning like Guido got the most shows, he got the most shows, and he got like, but I was having a little vibe about it. I didn't know anything about how it works, but he has the biggest main team with him that is, he's doing, I can't say too much about it, but it's just like, you can feel like this is the big company, it's like and yeah, so then, yeah, so there was the difference. And then I never spoke with Sam actually. I did 2 Chanel shows with him, but I never spoke with him. I never connected in any ways with him. So, the experience is not the same at all. And when I was doing Eugene also, I never really connected with him because I was quite young. Nobody knows me, so you're quite invisible. This is how it is. Sure. So when somebody is looking at you and speaking to you, then you maybe I'm going to go that way then. Yeah. How do you how would you describe Guido as a person? Guido is a living legend. This is how he is. He's a character. He's a strong personality. He's coming from the golden era of the fashion. And
yeah, he's the most talented visionary I ever met.
Mm-hmm.
And I love working with him because I feel like he's one of the only one that I can somehow connect artistically.
Sure.
I feel like when we speak, I understand him, and vice versa. So we have this kind of respect for each other, artistic wise. I think this is the thing.
I think for some people, it's hard to get to that level of where you feel that mutual respect with the person who you assist, you know. And I think it's a beautiful thing to hear that. How has that affected your own work?
He opened my mind on many things, actually. He opened my mind on many things. Artistically, I'm coming from a background very, very polished, very strict. Mm-hmm. And he's more fucked up. He loves, raw. He loves, like, things like, he's artistic. He's very, very, very tough. And with him, I learned to deconstruct my work. I learned the beauty of it. I learned the beauty and the vision of it. This is how I learned my thing. This is how I became cool in the fashion when I was doing my own photo shoots and everything, because I learned from him how to break it, to make it cool with the era, with the same references I had at the beginning, but make it cooler. And I learned it from him. This is how I learned it. Yeah.
Awesome. So you're at a point where you can present him an idea and he can present you an idea, and you feel like you as an artist can take that and go flourish and do your thing with it.
What do you mean?
Like, he sets you up to create your own vision. Does that make sense?
For my work, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
For your work.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for my work, yes. Because you have to please him, right? You have to please him. So because you do a lot of hair for him, you help him, you do things, but you have to please him all the time. And at one point, it's like, this hair's good, but we're not reaching my fantasy yet.
Yeah.
So then in my mind, I'm thinking for my work, I'm like, does that give me enough? Like, is it enough? Is somebody that is never gonna give up? And I'm the same. I'm never gonna give up. Mm-hmm. So then, that's why my work is like, it's close to perfection, because I'm not giving up. Sure. Never giving up. So I think from him, from his strength, and his severity, I got it from. I took it from him. And then that makes me open my eyes and my mind to different spectrum of the creativity. This is how he helped me.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, it's funny. I had a question in mind, but Irina right here, she asked a question, and she said, do you think connecting on artistic level is organic, or can it be developed? Does that translate to you?
I think connecting artistically, it's very interesting though. It's very interesting. I think it depends. It's a depend of a level of respect, actually. Mm-hmm. I feel like if I feel like your work or your vision or what you say it's good for my value, then I will connect with you artistically. I feel like, it's something like this. I feel like if I see in you, or if you see in me something that you like, then we will be connected.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think it's something like this. Like this. It's organic in some kind of way by the emotion. I'm obsessed with talent. Like, I love talented people because they give me inspiration. So I guess I'm connecting with them because they give me some kind of emotion. I think the organic is the emotion. Like, mm-hmm. if you share your emotion with somebody, then you're gonna connect with him. And this is what I love to do with my, that's why I'm working so hard. I'm thinking, I'm doing a post of the wig and everything. I'm thinking, does that make me dream? Does that put myself in a place that I'm like, oh, this is exactly what I think and exactly how I feel. And then I'm expecting people to be like, oh, that's amazing. Like, you know, give them some kind of hope and make them dream, you know? So I think the connection is coming from this, from the feeling.
Yeah. Very well said. That's a beautiful statement. Being such a creative person, I think sometimes we all struggle with hitting a creative wall at some point, or having a very bad day that takes the wind out of your sails, so to speak. Has that happened to you? Have you always been just gung-ho, straightforward all the way? Or have there been times where you were very set back creatively?
Of course. I mean, no artist is like creating masterpiece every day. Because when I create a masterpiece in my mind, I call it a masterpiece, but when I'm creating, it's like a performance. It's like, it might take me maybe like years or maybe days or maybe hours to get to that point. So it doesn't happen like this. And when I finally do it, it's like, you know, some of the weeks take me like 10 hours of performing non-stop. It's like, I'm doing it for fucking 10 hours, you know? It's like, it's a lot. So you can't like create amazing all the time. I have my rhythm with things, you know. I know what works, what doesn't work for my Instagram. I know everything about it, right? But you can't. And, you know, lately I felt I was overworked. I was traveling, work touring all the time. Since I work with all the time, which is amazing. But then for me, I'm just burned, you know.
Sure.
So I guess you are going through all those, you know, those moments. Like I said, when we started the quarantine, I was full on working on, and now since a couple of days, I'm a bit like, man, you know, I'm waiting. You know, this is going in my mind. I'm like, I'm waiting for the next thing to, you know, the next thing meaning the next hairstyle I want to do or the next video I want to produce. That makes me, you know, want to go do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So say maybe the conditions prior to the quarantine, did you have any sort of system that you do when you're feeling a little bit depleted with creative energy? Do you have something you go to, or a process?
That was a journey, actually. That was very interesting though, because I guess we all go, you know, up and downs and everything, and now I'm trying to not force it. This is what I do. I'm trying to not force it, and to do my thing when I feel it. Because, you know, it's been now 15 years I'm doing hair intensely, like beyond intensely.
Right.
So I'm at a point. Then sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna do something else, you know. So I learn, and I'm still learning about it to take the time and to feel like I'm not 19 years old anymore. I'm 32, and maybe the thing's gonna work differently, and I need to do it at my pace now, and only do what I like. That's my goal. Nothing. I can't, because when you get frustration, when you get like, you know, stressed by some kind of situation, that cuts all your creativity, and that's for sure. This is, you can't because you feel some type of way, some anxiousness and all of, you can't be creative. No, I cannot. So I need to resolve all the problem, to clean my house, to, you know, I need to be free. Sure. So my mind can just go, and then when it's burning my finger, then I do it.
Right. I love it.
Actually, being an artist, you really have to to understand how you work actually. So I feel like I'm going more in that way now. I love to explain this to people now. You know, I want to do courses and everything, but I can't wait to do masterclass. I'm doing my online courses now, but I can't wait to do masterclass so I can speak to people and to help them to understand that you have to find your own way to create, you know, to create and understand your own self. This is where I'm going now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
oh my God, it's intense now.
no, this is exactly what I'm here for. I love this stuff. This is why Lost Hairdressers exists, is for the intensity. It's so good. So when you need to escape, when you've been working on a wig for 10 hours and you need a break, what do you find yourself doing?
I go out.
Yeah.
I go out. I enjoy my friends. I do that, but and usually somehow I always feel like it's weird though, because when I post a picture I'm very proud of, I'm always gonna celebrate it somehow. Maybe people don't understand. Maybe people don't feel it, because it's such a hard thing to do. And so I'm just like, when I'm dropping the picture, I'm so happy about it, and I'm just like having a nice dinner, or enjoying my friends, going out, getting wasted, all that jazz. You know, like I'm celebrating because I did my performance, and now I can celebrate. Because you know, when you're doing your thing, you're so into it, and you put you have to sacrifice so many things, so I've been sacrificing a lot of things my whole career, right? So then now I know how to work, so I know the time to work, and I know, and I'm willing to do everything to be able to achieve what I want to achieve. So at the end, it's like it's a release. So then I drop it, and I enjoy my life.
It sounds like you've found, or you're finding, balance, which is difficult to find. It's very difficult.
Very, very much so, because you're always motivated by your ultimate goal. So you're almost willing to accept everything, everything, or everything. But then you realize that you cannot, because this is not where you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
So now, yes, I'm finding I stopped doing shooting since 1.5 years now, almost.
Wow. Just to concentrate on your own.
Just because I was feeling so miserable doing it, so stressed. And this is, going back on what I was saying, you need to feel comfortable. And I wasn't feeling comfortable at all. I couldn't stand being the hairdresser of the set, and being not respected for who I was, or my vision, or where I was going. I was just like one part of the team, and very regularly, like hair, makeup are just like below everybody, and I wasn't feeling comfortable in this. That wasn't because I want to be a successful hairstylist and leave a mark in the industry, right? And I was like, I can't be. Maybe I wasn't very lucky about it, but I think people in fashion are it's very hard. People are very, so then, yeah, I'm going in circle now.
No, it's okay. Do you think though, on that thought, that it is, going through that was kind of necessary for you as well? Because there's a lot of people who are watching and who follow Lost Hairdressers that are probably maybe in the salon, but they got into hair because they wanted to create beautiful hair and have them be photographed and stuff like that. So a lot of people are looking at someone like you and wondering if it is necessary to go through what you have to create perspective.
Very interesting. I have two answers for that. The first answer, working in fashion, told me the picture, told me told me how to look at a picture, how to create a picture with people around me. But to create me like teach me how to, the angle of the hair of the model, the light, the makeup, like the faces that works, and all of this. This is what I learned with the fashion, the style, and never I learned. I did like I was shooting full on, so I learned a lot about how to create a picture. So now I'm able to do it on my own because I'm producing everything on my own. So this is what I learned with fashion. Mm-hmm. But then you need to be aware, like fashion is very hard, and that kind of, if you're not strong or not made for it, that can destroy you. This is just how it is. It destroy you because the people. It's like when you get into fashion, it's like a group of people that all want to get there, right? So they all gonna fight and make them way, no matter way it is, to get there, right? So it's like a parallel world, like parallel world where yeah, it's quite tough, and I'm it's almost like I'm living from it another person, because that creates some greatness in me and also some trauma. I can't lie about it. It's funny because I've been advised to be very positive on this life, right? I'm very positive, but I can't say otherwise than the truth. This is how I feel. So if you feel you can handle it, you guys, if you feel you can handle it, and you're able to leave your ego on the side, and you're able to just be one from the other, and maybe never been put on the spot, and being you, and and dealing with many occasions like could be tough, and many disappointment, because when you do like a beautiful hair picture, and then it's not because you do a beautiful hair then you're gonna have an amazing picture. There is so many things before that, because the photographer has to do the right lighting, and take the right picture. The model has to be the right model, and then the editing has to be the right editing, and then the magazine needs to validate the picture, to take the picture. It's like at the end, there is so many things in my mind. I feel like that's why I stopped it, because I was like, I'm not going anywhere with this. Like, I'm creating things. I'm giving the photographer, the stylist, all the wigs and everything. But I don't feel like I don't have what I do. I don't have back what I give, So it depends where you put yourself. I'm thinking I'm an artist and I need to be me. So if you feel you're a bit more, you don't feel as, crazy as I do, I feel like, then maybe you can, because I have a lot of friends that have fun in fashion, have fun and everything, and then that just have fun. So, I mean, I guess people have to try and then to see what they feel, and then you have to understand what your boundaries are, where they are, and don't accept to cross them, because then you're crossing your own value, and then you're crossing on your well-being. This is how I feel. This is how I feel.
I think that's great. I think the way that I chose to look at it when I was trying to walk down that path, because it was so often that I felt like I was being beat down by the industry and the people around me. It was not, for me, it was not my ideal scenario. It helped when I would just look at it as an educational experience, so that I didn't take things to heart so much, because I would feel crushed or like I wasn't worthy and all this stuff. I did learn a lot about myself, and I learned how to put it in the right place. But yes, ultimately, you have to figure out what works for you, like you said. With social media, this is a platform that kind of everybody has access to create something for themselves. You know, you don't necessarily have to go through the journey. But in your case, your drive and the people that you've been around and your perspective, I cannot help but think it's produced this this strong person that you are right now. It's helped that, I would assume.
I mean, yeah, because yeah, of course. I mean, we all become what we are through the experiences we've been through, right? And I guess now, I think I've been enduring these kind of things for so long. So now, it feels like that wakes you up when you go through, like, death and all these things. You feel like you have only one life, because you only have one life. So if you want to feel, this type of way all the time, then that's you. But I don't. So then I had to move on, and then to be very strong, to balance all of the rest. And now you learn to be strong. I think the successful people are very strong, because you have to be strong in what you like, what you want, and who you want to be. So I guess I became strong to protect myself.
Sure. Do you consider Guido your mentor, or do you have a mentor if not?
No. I don't know. He's not my mentor. He's not my mentor. I mean, I'm learning from him. I'm helping him. And he's my boss. And I don't want to be, it's like, you have to be very careful when you work with somebody.
Of course. Very
careful, because as you work for him, for any person, then your vision get shaped in what you have to create for this person. So then your own creativity gets very, very, very inspired by what you do on the regular basis for somebody else. So I'm trying hard to not. I don't want to put him in this, because because I want to keep my own perception, my own vision, my own, and it's quite hard in fashion industry, because Guido's creating the trend. So then when you do something for him, I can't say that. When you help him or whatever, right? Yes. He's creating the trend. So then when you do your shootings and everything, the stylist what happen on the show, that you help him on. So you feel like, so when am I doing what I want? And also, as he's creating the trend, then you kind of want to follow them in a way. Of course. Because it's trend, obviously. So when you work in fashion, you have to be on trend. And if you want to be on trend, you have to follow what's going on with the biggest fish in the aquarium, right? So I'm always trying to, that's why I like to step out also, because step out from the fashion world. Not Guido, but step out from the fashion world, just so I can be me. And now I find with the drag queen, I can be me, and that's something I'm very enjoying, very much so, way more than the fashion and all that jazz.
So, are you performing yourself, or tell me more about it?
No, I'm not performing. I'm just doing it for fun sometimes here and there. Now I'm working with the drag queen of the RuPaul Drag Race. This is what I do. I do that a lot. I'm doing the wigs, and I'm selling them. I'm selling the wigs. And I'm working with Ballet Chashki, Aquaria, Detox, all those queens, those big queens. And what's amazing with this is, like, nobody's cutting you with the creativity, Yes. They want the biggest shit on that. That's what they want. Yeah. So then I can just be me. You know what I mean? I'm not being beat down by a photographer, by a stylist, by somebody, whoever, right? Yeah. They just want the craziest thing on her. So then, cool. You know what I mean? So then I can just be me. And, and if one of the clients like my style, and then we can just, like, with Violet, it's a blessing working with her. You know, she's a character. She's a personality. I am a character too. You know, we just all, you know. But then we connect with the artistic. You know, what she likes, it's what I like. So then every time, like almost every time I create something, I show her and she loved it. And vice versa. She sent me a reference and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. This is what I want, you know? When I create this spiky wig for her, the one you just posted. I mean, who knew she was going to wear something like this one day, right? That's why. And she was like, you know, and you can feel like you're almost like, you know, you hit her a bit, you know? And I like that, you know? This is what I want. And I feel like then it's such a big platform than just like, then it goes like, you know.
It's exciting.
Like, then you get the reconnaissance of it. It gets viral, you know. Yeah. This is when I did Violet for the Met Gala. That was amazing because, you know, you do your thing and then you really have you know, that's her, right? But still, I feel like I'm getting more recognition, you know, more like, you know.
Yeah, you're creating your own world.
I'm creating my own world. Exactly. This is what I do. This is what I create my own world. I'm not watching the news. I'm not doing any of this. I'm just staying in my world. This is what I do actually.
One of the questions that I was going to ask was, as long as Guido exists, is there room for somebody to break through that, to be on top or anything like that? But to your points, if you create your world, you don't need to compete with anyone else.
I don't, because I just need to be me. And then actually the thing is, like, you're lucky enough to be right in the time. This is what I feel. You're lucky enough. I don't know if I am. I am maybe now. Maybe I want in 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. I don't know. But I think you're lucky enough to be contemporary. This is how it is. And I feel today, what's good for me, it's not necessarily fashion. It's maybe more social media. And then the hair digital. This is where I'm going. This is where I feel more comfortable. It's where I feel like this is where I'm most successful. You know? So it's not, I mean, Guido's is at the top of the fashion world, but it's not only the only way to be a hairstylist. You see Chris Appleton, he's amazing with celebrities, and he's the best. You can tell he's like, you know, way up here, you know what I mean? And I don't think like there are only one spot. You create your spot.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. That's great. I mean, I love having access to people like you. And I think that people need to hear things like you're saying. I think it's very inspiring, and it's going to help people to not be intimidated by the industry and to be able to go and create their own world. And I think that's amazing. Very exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about, well, more detail about your plans for the multimedia.
So, I just launched my channel, my online courses.
Okay.
So that's actually very exciting. So the link in my bio, of course. Okay. That's actually very exciting because I feel like I reach a point where with my picture on Instagram, you know, it's perfect, it's whatever, right? But then it's a picture, and I feel like people are getting very used to it. And now it's just like, it's a perfect picture, yes. But then I feel like I don't show the spectrum of it, like the full situation of it. So then I was like, what's next? Because, you know, I'm one of these person. I get bored very quick. I need to move on to something else. And also, I thought, you know, fashion one is very hard, and I was thinking, in backstage, let's say, I was getting upset by, you know, people maybe not comfortable with some looks or whatever. And I was thinking, how come how come they're not comfortable with some kind of looks? And then I realized that maybe nobody showed them.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, nobody told them. Like, because, yeah, nobody told anything. Mm-hmm. And then then my process was like, but then I thought about, let's say my first video was like a side part ponytail, right? People think like, this is basic, like, who cares? Actually, when you are in this situation, you can tell, like, a lot of people not very comfortable with it, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking then, but actually, when I was at school, nobody teach me how to do a perfect side ponytail. Mm-hmm. Actually, with a technique and a method. Nobody taught me.
Yep.
Nobody. So then I was like, oh, so that's something then. And also I was like, I saw people like doing a lot of, not a lot, but some online courses with the cutting, the British. They do that a lot, but because they're very strong with the cutting. And then I was like, nobody's doing it with the styling.
Yes.
Very much like the real styling.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So then it came up, you know, I've been working for this for months actually. It's not like it's not Miss Corona that give me the idea, right? I've been doing this for months. That's why I arrived here very prepared. And I launched my online courses very neatly because I was ready for it. And then I'm like, and then it becomes very, very clear in my mind. This is where I'm going to be even more successful and more well known when people will see me doing it. Because I noticed like people backstage or whatever, you know, always someone, you know, looked at me like, yeah. Stop. And then, and I'm like, so then it's like all the planets, you know, all the planet goes all connected. I'm like, maybe people like to see me doing hair. Maybe they feel like this is interesting. So then, yeah, all of this. And then I'm like, this is where I thought it's going to be the way for me to be a bit more, even more well-known and respected, and to leave a mark in the, you know, because I'm doing the basic thing for now, you know, the first month is going to be the ponytail and everything, because I want people to get them hand around it, to just like, you know, to understand what's going on. But then I'm thinking next month I'm going to do the month's tribute to Alexandre de Paris, and then cool. I'm going to do some great, you know, some great videos with the classic updos from my legacy, you know, the French legacy, Alexandre de Paris. So, you know, then we're going to get up in the real gig, and that's going to be fun. But then people be like, okay, you know, I'm ready for it.
Is it broken down into a system, or is it just video by video, or is there a process? Do you know what I mean?
I'm thinking, so now I see how it goes. Miss Quarantine gave us a lot of time. So I was thinking doing 2 or 3 videos a month. So now I'm thinking one theme, one style, let's say, for the month. I'm going to call it like, you know, the month Alexandre de Paris, the month of the geisha. I'm thinking about it.
Nice, yes.
You know, the month of the finger wave, the 20s, the month of Elizabeth Taylor, you know, all of these. I'm thinking, you know, recreating all the major hairstyle, you know, and creating my own version. And also, I'm thinking of doing the month of the Russian.
That's cool.
So good.
Yeah,
I'm loving it because, you know, this all over the place, and all those Russian doing like all the tutorial time lapse, you know, videos on Instagram. It's insane. There's not so much of my style, but I'm very open to everything. Sure. So then I'm gonna do this in my way, to explain you how to do it, to shut down those Russians. That makes me so. I'm just making fun about it. It's just cool, you know.
No,
and then it's gonna be this. It's like a membership, you know. You subscribe, and then every month you have the videos of the theme of the month. This is the thing.
Great, awesome. It sounds so cool. Like I'm gonna sign up myself. It's really cool. Yeah, it's so nice. Well, you definitely always have us as a platform to share. So, you know, expect our support, because we love what you do. It's really, really great.
Thank you. Thanks you for what you do, because this is very great for us. And also I feel like you are a very respected platform and take things seriously, you know. It's not like, and also still approachable, you know.
Oh, good.
There is some platform that never respond to you or whatever, and you know, like, you know, some of them are not very easy, you know. And some of them you have to pay.
Yeah,
you have to pay to get in and everything. So it's not, I feel like you do it with the love of hair and the love of hairstylist, and that's very, very enjoyable, I feel like.
Cool. Yeah, we want to continue just to be a platform to make people like you accessible to everyone, so that there's not such a divide between these worlds anymore. And we're excited.
Yes,
Awesome.
Very excited.
Well, we'll stay in touch, and hopefully after this goes on for a while and you get your videos going, maybe we can do another interview and
Sure.
see what's next.
Sure.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, let me think about something else. Yes.
You will not run out of ideas, I'm sure. It sounds so cool. It sounds awesome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy about this. That was very fun.
Super fun. Well, thank you again. And we've been having a lot of technical difficulties, but we're going to put this on YouTube as well, so that you can access the interview, and yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you.
awesome.
Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.